I want to get married. I mean, not tonight, or even to you necessarily, but that's what I want. And if that's going to scare you off, then I'd rather it scare you off now.
That's exactly what I want too.
I love How I Met Your Mother, and I enjoy most things the show does. But one of the few things How I Met Your Mother loves to do that I hate with all my heart is that they will spend a bunch of time and energy building up a character or a relationship that they have every intention of dropping like a bad habit that never truly mattered. Listen, look at me. No, come here. Look at me when I tell you the only thing worse than when the How I Met Your Mother's writers had you really thinking they was going somewhere with a relationship is when you and they knew good and well they were wasting your time and they did it anyway. They be making me sick with that shit here. So without further ado, here are the most pointless relationships How I Met Your Mother wasted all of our times with. Roll the theme song, Aaron.
Black independent, strongest in women. It's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay now. I know that I'm worth it, so make sure to listen. It's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay, it's Olay.
There are a few housekeeping matters we should get out the way. Everyone, and I do mean everyone, including motherfuckers who never seen How I Met Your Mother, know that the greatest waste of time relationship in How I Met Your Mother was unfortunately Ted's relationship with the mother, who was basically just a surrogate for Ted to have his children with before being killed off, so Ted could be with the real love of his life, the emotionally unavailable woman who broke his heart repeatedly and married his best friend. People have been calling the How I Met Your Mother series finale one of the worst series finales of all time because it's hard for millions of people to accept that you made us watch 10 seasons to figure out who the mother was, only to find out that she dies, and this has all been some long, convoluted way for Ted to get back with a woman in a relationship we stopped rooting for ages ago. And that's if we ever rooted for it at all, because I never did. So, for that reason, I am not going to waterboard y'all with a justice for the mother rant, but I will say this. Despite the fact that the actress who played Tracy was so perfect in the role that she managed to make us like her and not feel underwhelmed by the reveal, which I do think is a hard feat when we've been introduced to countless other women that have been discarded in search of this perfect woman for seasons, we nevertheless had very little time with her. I don't feel half as angry by how the finale rendered her and Ted's relationship irrelevant as I feel about how the finale made Barney and Robin's relationship irrelevant. Now that's the shit that really grinds my gears. Not only did I and anybody with taste prefer Barney and Robin to Ted and Robin, not only did they spend almost just as much time building Barney and Robin as they did Ted and Robin, if not more eventually, shit. They spent the entirety of the final season on Barney and Robin's wedding just to break them up in the finale.
Hell no.
That right there is some true bullshit. You're gonna take the last season we have with a show we love and make every single episode take place at and around a wedding for a marriage you plan to immediately toss out the window? Oh my God, we should have jumped the writers, I swear to God. And just like we all know the show us on Ted and the Mother and Barney and Robin, anyone who's watched my video How I Met Your Mother Fumbled Victoria knows that the way How I Met Your Mother did Ted and Victoria was a human rights violation and they need to answer for their crimes. Now that we've talked about the big relationship everyone agrees that the show wasted our time with, it's time to talk about the relationships How I Met Your Mother wasted precious time out of our lives with that we will never get back, that nobody talks about. Let's start with Barney and Patrice, because the actress that played Patrice, as well as anyone who looked like her, should have sued the writers for intentional infliction of emotional distress, because the character was only written to be a punching bag that Robin bitch-ass Pickney Shabatsky bullied relentlessly for the crime of being fat and kind.
Shame.
Barney is one of the most shallow, misogynistic, piece of shit characters to ever grace television, and he spends the entirety of the show's run talking about fat women like a plague on earth he'd rather gouge his eyes out than go near. So it of course made zero sense for the show to spend multiple episodes trying to convince both Robin and the audience that Barney was seriously dating and in love with Patrice. No one ever bought it. Not because it's inconceivable that someone who looked like Barney could be with someone who looked like Patrice. No, not at all. It's an inconceivable pairing because we all know that to Barney, it would be inconceivable. So it's annoying as they wasted our time with this relationship only for the big reveal to be, oh, this kind fat woman was just a prop being used to make Robin, the actual object of Barney's desires, jealous so he could propose to her.
My disappointment is immeasurable.
Not only does this make Barney and Robin getting back together and engaged super underwhelming, because none of us believed for a second that Barney and Patrice were seriously together or that he was seriously proposing to her. So Robin going to rush to the top of the worldwide news building to stop him from proposing to her was null and void, irrelevant, no one cared. And quiet as kept, we don't talk enough about how Barney could have proposed to Robin on any night. He chose to do it on the night of the biggest moment in Ted's career. No one could ever convince me that Ted must do something to Barney in a past life, because everything about how Barney pursued this relationship with Robin seemed designed to get Ted back in blood. But anyway, this storyline was some bullshit. And there's a lot to be said about how problematic the portrayal of Patrice was overall, as well as the commentary around fat women in the show overall. But I know that y'all don't like it when my analyses get too serious. So moving on. Next up is Barney and Nora. What a waste of time. Oh my God. Barney meets Nora at McLaren's when she was hanging out with Robin and some of their other colleagues from work. Nora is portrayed as this kind of perfect, beautiful, intelligent, class act dream woman. And the minute Barney meets her, he becomes OD trip over and starts bending over backwards to try to prove to her that he can be a good, honest, faithful man in a serious relationship with her. The writers put a considerable amount of energy into Barney trying to court Nora and them doing a whole will they, won't they thing. Barney jumped through hoops for them to get together. Then once they're actually in a serious relationship getting ready to meet Nora's parents, Barney Nora with Robin. And dumps her to be with Robin's bitch ass, because Nora was just another woman in a long line of women the show used to either bring Ted or Barney closer to Robin. But speaking of Barney cheating on Nora with Robin, that brings me to the next waste of our time. Robin and Kevin. Cal Penn took time away from his busy life as a member of Obama's administration.
What?
Yes, you heard me. In case y'all did not know, the who played Kumar and Harold and Kumar served in the Obama administration as the Associate Director of the White House Office of Public Engagement and Intergovernmental Affairs. So I say again, Cal Penn took time away from Obama to play Kevin, Robin's court-mandated therapist she's forced to see after she beat up some gal she had sent to try to break up Nora and Barney, because you see how she go, right? Anyway, now, for obvious reasons, we know that it's unethical for a therapist to date their patient, so we theoretically should not root for this relationship. That being said, I was initially rooting for Kevin and Robin, because first of all, Robin ass been needed to sit her ass on somebody's couch and listen to Real. And Kevin was that Real, you hear me? Kevin reading all them down, that entire group of friends, is still one of my favorite parts of the show, because that ain't told one mother lie.
You're all the most codependent, incestuous, controlling group of people I've ever met.
The initial chemistry between Robin and Kevin was there, and I appreciated that Kevin did stop being her therapist literally after a couple of sessions the moment he realized he had feelings for her. And he did not stop being her therapist so that he could ask her out or date her. He was literally trying to cut off all contact because he rightfully recognized that regardless of whether he wasn't her doctor anymore, their initial doctor-client relationship meant that Robin had been vulnerable and candid with him as her doctor, which would make dating inappropriate. But it isn't until after he's already stopped treating her and Robin goes to great lengths to wear him down, just like Ted did to Stella, that Kevin agrees to start dating Robin. Now, here's my problem. Despite how much chemistry they had and how much work the show had done to really get us invested in this pairing, the moment they actually get together, the show completely neuters the relationship. Robin, a gal who pops pussy indiscriminately the entire series, doesn't even sleep with Kevin, her serious adult boyfriend she begged to be with. And I hope you take note that a few people of color made this list, because on the rare occasion that this show introduces a person of color at all or as a love interest, not only are they always short-lived plot devices only meant to bring two of the main white protagonists together, they always make sure that there is either none or very little physical intimacy between them, if any at all. Think about the relationship between Barney and Patrice, where Barney was only using her to make Robin jealous because he would never have a relationship, let alone a physical one, with Patrice. Think about Barney and Nora, where Barney and Nora also hold off on sex for a while, and once they're intended to, the show introduces this idea that she's like his mother, and thus it would be weird to sleep with her. Think about Kevin and Robin, where Robin doesn't sleep with Kevin at all for some unknown reason. Shoots. Even when J-Lo guest stars in an episode as Barney's romantic interest, Barney, who's been sleeping with mad bitches, mind you, doesn't sleep with her as a favor to Robin, who goes on a date with Dawn the same night. When Ted goes on a date with a black girl, they have him start acting ass, and that blows up before it could go anywhere too. There is a trend and there is a reason for this trend, but I know that y'all like me to keep shit light on this channel. So I'm gonna leave it there. But think about it, stay woke. So Robin doesn't sleep with Kevin, which is a prerogative. But to add insult to injury, she then cheats on the nigga with Barney. She cheats on Kevin with Barney, but the gag is, despite Barney breaking up with Nora to be with Robin, Robin didn't break up with Kevin, because the tea is, and will forever be, that Robin did not truly want Barney. She just didn't like seeing him with anyone else. So once she broke up Barney and Nora, her job was done, which is why, even after she becomes single again, and Barney's single too, she did not try to get him back until he got with Patrice. And Barney clocked her tea. That's why he thought making her think he was with Patrice was essential to getting her back in the first place. Ciao. Anyway, Robin might as well have dumped Kevin, because although she stayed with him, we basically stopped seeing him. And then when he pops up again, he suddenly proposes to her only for them to break up because she can't have children, nor does she want them. Then 2 seconds later, of course, Ted is professing his love to Robin again, and Barney is planning to use Patrice to get her back. Anyway, child, next, we've got Robin and Nick. Y'all might not even remember this relationship or Nick at all, but let me tell y'all what pissed me off about this relationship. We're first introduced to Nick all the way back in season 6, when Robin meets him on 2 separate occasions where they obviously have chemistry, but Ted's cock-blocking ass prevents it from going anywhere, and we never see him again until season 8. So you would think that when the show has Robin run into this man they planted the seeds for 2 seasons earlier, reasonable minds see him and obviously think, oh my god, this is about to be the long payoff. They are going somewhere serious with this. You get hyped like, oh my god, yes, I remember this she was flirting with that one time. So of course, bringing him back gotta mean fate, right? Wrong. They get together in what's supposed to be a serious relationship. Then all of a sudden, they decide, never mind, we're gonna make him a himbo that Robin is only with for sex. Yes, the same Robin who wasn't fucking Kevin just the other day, mind you. Justice for Kevin, I tell you all. Justice for Kevin. So she breaks up with Nick in some silly shit they call the autumn of breakups. Which brings me to the last thorn in my side. Barney and Quinn. Let me tell y'all something right now. I don't know if this is a popular opinion or an unpopular opinion, but I know it's the right opinion, okay? Quinn was Barney's best match, and the show had no business pairing Barney with his perfect match, having us watch them get together, move in together, and get engaged, only to have them break up arguing over a goofy ass prenup like ain't like, don't cause me run all that. To add insult to injury, as though their relationship was never the serious relationship it was, after breaking them up 2 seconds later, I mean in the same year in the show, the show had Quinn helping Robin plan Barney's bachelor party when he and Robin got engaged. Child, Quinn better than me, yeah? Y'all should subscribe to the Patreon. I put, for the people who want to hear me doing all my cursing, we put the uncensored versions of every recap on the Patreon. So do that.